Hello, how are you, my dear children? I hope that you all are fine and safe. Welcome to Mahdi English School. Myself, Nilofer Miss, and this online session is for the class 2. And which subject? Subject is mathematics. So, are you all ready with your notebook and pencil into your hand to write something? So as you know students that we are starting our lecture with the quote, right? So first of all let's see the quote. Here is the quote that you can win if you want. Whenever you win, if you want, whenever your wish is very strong, then and only then you can win. So you can win if you want. So your wish could be a very strong. If you think about you want to get rank in the exam, you want to get full marks into the any particular subject and all the subjects, so first of all it could be a wish for you, then and only then you can achieve it. So you can win if you want. So first of all you have to just be a strong wish. Okay, now let's start today's online session. So here we are going to continue chapter number 8, and the name of this chapter is Exploring Multiplication Further, and the meaning of this chapter name is that further, more, something more about the multiplication. As I told you, since we are starting the multiplication chapter, that if you want to understood this chapter, if you want to understood all the exercise of this chapter and the previous chapter also, must learn and write the tables. Without tables you are not going to able to solve these types of sum, and this chapter is totally based on the table. Table is the most important thing. At least this is the base of this chapter. So you have to prepare the tables, learn the tables, revise the tables, and it will be a very helpful to you, and you are able to solve all the types of sum by yourself only. So please learn and write tables once in a day. So just think about it, this is your homework, and then learn. Okay, so let's start the revision of the previous lecture first. Order in multiplication. This chapter we are revising, this topic we are revising in the previous, we are learning this topic in the previous lecture, but as we revise every topic in today's lecture, so first of all we are revising the topic here today, and then we are moving on. So this is the important note for you, that you can change the order of the numbers you are multiplying, but the product remain the same. Here the meaning of the product, it means the answer. Answer, it means that whatever you are getting the answer of the multiplication sum, you can call it a product, and product it means answer. So let's do some practice. We are learning this topic in the previous lecture. So let's revise this topic first today, and then we will move to the today's topic. First of all, see, let's do some practice. So let's revise this worksheet first. Here is the worksheet. We had learned this worksheet in the previous lecture. So today we are revising this worksheet first. So here, as I told you, that we have to count the dots in the standing line first and then sleeping line. So first of all let's count this black dots in the standing line. How many dots in the standing line? See this, 1, 2, 3. You can call this standing line a column. So column has 3 dots. You can call it a standing line also. So standing line has 3 dots. And how many dot has the sleeping line? Let's count how many dots sleeping line have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So sleeping line have 6 dots. So now we are multiplying this. 3 6 are 18. So here the total dots are 18. Now we are taking the sleeping line dots first. So how many dots in the sleeping line? There are 6 dots in the sleeping line. And how many dots in the standing line? So there are 3 dots in the standing line. Now 6 3s are 18. Now you can see this here we are swapping the numbers. Here is 3 6 are 18 and here we are taking 6 3s are 18. But you can see this, we are not getting any different answer. We are getting the same product. We are getting the same answer. Now let's do the next one. First of all, we are taking the standing line. That how many dots in the standing line? 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 dots in the standing line. And how many dots in the sleeping line? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 dots in the sleeping line. So 3 5s are 15. Now we are taking the sleeping line dots first, which are 5. So we are writing number 5 first and then we are writing the standing line dots, which are 3. 5 3s are 15. You can see this. Here also we are changing the number. 3 5s is equal to 15 and 5 3s is also equal to a 15. We are getting the same answer. It means our sum is right. We are not doing any mistake in this. Now in this we are taking the standing line dots first, which are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 dots in the standing line. Now how many dots in the sleeping line? So there are 1, 2 and 3. There are 3 dots in the sleeping line. You can see this. 4 3s are 12. So total this is 12 dots. Now we are taking the sleeping line dots first, which are 3. So I am writing 3 here. Now let's take the sleeping line dots, which are 4. 3 4s are 12. So you also can see this here that we are not getting any different answer. Here we are getting the same product. Now let's move to the next one. First of all, we are taking the standing line dots, which are 2. So I am writing number 2. Now let's count how many dots in the sleeping line. So let's count first. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here is 5 dots in the sleeping line. So 2 5s are 10. You can see this. I am writing 10 here. Then we are taking the sleeping line dot first, which are 5. Then we are taking standing line dots, which are 2. 5 2s are is equal to 10. Here we also getting the same product. Let's move to the next one. First of all, we are counting the standing line dots. How many dots in the standing line? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 dots in the standing line. Now let's count in the sleeping line that how many dots in the sleeping line? 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 dots in the sleeping line. So 5 4s are 20. Now let's take the sleeping line dot first, which are 4. Then we are taking the standing line dots, which are 5. 4 5s are 20. You can see this. I am writing the 20 number. We are getting the same product here. Now let's move for the next. Here is 1 and 2. So standing line have 2 dots. And how many in the sleeping line? So let's count the sleeping line dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. there are 7 dots in the sleeping line. So 2 sevens are 14. Now we are taking the sleeping line dot first, which are 7, and then we are taking the standing line dot, which are 2. So 7 twos are 14. You can see this. I am writing the 7 twos are 14. Now let's take the standing line dot first, which are 2. Then we are taking the sleeping line dots. We have to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There are 6 dots. So 2 6 are 12. Now we are taking the sleeping line dot first, which are 6, and standing line dot have 2 dots. So 6 twos are 12. Now let's move to the next. Here is 3 dots in the standing line. So I am writing 3 here. Then how many in the sleeping line? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. There are 7 dots in the sleeping line. So 3 sevens are 21. Now we are taking the sleeping line dots first, which are 7, and the standing line dots, which are 3. 7 threes are 21. Now let's move to the next and last. So first of all, let's count how many dots in the standing line. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 dots in the standing line. Now let's count how many dots in the sleeping line. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There are 6 dots in the sleeping line. So 5 6 are 30. Now we are taking the sleeping line dots first, which are 6, and then we are taking the standing line dots, which are 5. So 6 5s are 30. Now you can see this. We have to learn and write this exercise into your fair book. Now we are writing exercise 8a. We are revising. We already done this exercise in the previous lecture, but therefore we are revising this exercise in the today's topic. Let's revise this exercise. So if any student have any doubt related this exercise, so it will be a solve. So here is the question number 1. Here is the heading, and this is the compulsory for you all, that you have to write down into your fair book before writing the exercise. Put these erasers into groups to show multiplication facts for each. Now in this is the sum number A. So first of all we have to write down that how many in the standing line. This smiley faces, you can see this. How many in the standing line? So here is the standing line. You can see the circle. We have to count it first. 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 in the standing line. Now how many in the sleeping line? You can see the circle in the sleeping line. 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 smiley faces in the sleeping line. So 3 4s is equal to 12. So 3 4s are 12. We have to write down this sentence. We have to write down 2 sentence for the each. We are writing first, we are taking standing line and then sleeping line. Now we are taking the sleeping line first. So let's count the sleeping line first. How many smileys in the sleeping line? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 smiley faces in the sleeping line. Now let's count that how many smiley faces in the standing line. 1, 2, 3. So here is 3 faces in the standing line. So 4 3s is equal to 12. We have to write down this way. This is your textbook exercise, and this smiley faces is already there into your textbook. So you have to write down this sentence only if you have textbook. Otherwise you can write down into the fair book. You can draw only the circle shape in the place of this smiley faces. Now let's move to the sum number B. First of all, we are taking the standing line. How many pots in the standing line? So there are 2 pots in the standing line. Then we are counting how many pots in the sleeping line. Let's count. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 pots in the sleeping line is equal to 8. So we can write down that 2 4s are 8. So total this is 8 pots. Now in the next we are taking the sleeping line pots number first, which are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 pots. Now we are counting the standing line pots first, 1 and 2. There are 2 pots in the standing line. So 4 2s is also a 8. Now we are moving the sum number C. So first of all, we are counting the standing line. How many guitars in the standing line? So there are 2 guitars in the standing line, 1 and 2. So I am writing 2. And how many in the sleeping line? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. There are 7 guitars in the sleeping line. So 2 7s are 14. Now let's count the sleeping line first, which have 7 guitars, and in the standing line there are 2 guitars. So 7 2s is also a 14. Now the question number 2 of this exercise 8a, and what is the heading of this? Write the multiplication fact to show that the order of multiplication does not matter. If you are writing 2 7s or 7 2s, it is not matter. The answer of this is just a matter. Before we start, let's see some examples of this and then we will start the exercise. But before it, let's see some examples. So here you can see there are some balls are there. So first of all, we are grouping these balls here. So here is the first group, second group and third group. So there are 3 groups and each group has 2 balls. You can see this. Here is 3 groups I am making. Here is the first one. You can see the first group, the second group and the third group. So we can write down this way. Total this is 3 groups. That's why I am writing 3. And how many balls in the each group? Here is 2 balls, here is 2 balls and here is 2 balls. So total there are 3 groups and each group has 2 balls. So we can write down 3 2s are 6. We can write down this way that 3 groups and each group has 2 balls. So 3 2s are 6. Now here also 6 balls. But let's make some different group. And balls is 6, but we are making the different group. Here is the first group. Here is the second group. You can see this. We are making just 2 groups in the place of 3. But each group has 3 balls. I am writing this. There are 2 groups, 1 and 2. So I am writing 2 here. And each group has 3 balls. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So 2 3s is also equal to 6. You can see this. We are getting the same product. We are getting the same answer. We are just making different types of group, but we are just swapping the numbers. Here is 3 groups and each group has 2 balls, and here is 2 groups. Each group has 3 balls. There are nothing change in this and there are nothing hard in this. I have some more examples for you. So first of all, let's make the group. First group, second group, third group and fourth group. You can see this. I am just circling the pandas. You can see the pandas here. First group, second group, third group and fourth group. So total there are 4 groups. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each group has 2 pandas. You can see this 1 2. Here is 1 2. Here is 1 2 and here is 1 2. So we can write down this way the sentence, 4 groups and each group has 2 pandas. So 4 2s are 8. So this is the multiplication fact for this first group. Now let's make some different group. So here is first group and here is second group, 1 and 2. Now we can write down there are 2 groups and each group has 4 pandas. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 2 groups and each group has 4 pandas. So we can write down this way, 2 groups and each group has 4 pandas. So 2 4s are 8. Here is 4 groups and each group has 2 pandas. And here is 2 groups and each group has 4 pandas. But we are getting the same answer. You can see this. Now here is the cakes. You can like, you all love the cakes now to eat. Yummy, right? So let's make the group first. First group, third group, and here is fourth group. There are 4 groups. You can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are total 4 groups and each group has 3 cakes. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and here is 1, 2, 3. So we can write down this way the sentence. There are 4 groups, 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 groups and each group has 3 cakes. So that's why I am writing 3 here. So we can write down this way, 4 3s are 12. So total this is 12 cakes. Now I am taking the next one. Here is the cakes are there, but let's make the different group. First group, second group and the third group. Now first, second and third. Now you can see this, there are 3 groups and each group has how many cakes? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 3 groups and each group has 4 cakes. So 3 4s are 12. This way we have to write down the multiplication fact. So let's start the exercise 8A and the question number 2 of this exercise. So are you all ready to solve this exercise? This is very interesting exercise and I hope that you all like this exercise and you are understanding this, that how we are going to solve this, and I hope that you are already known from the examples you are understood how to write down this exercise in the textbook. So let's start solving this. Here is sum number A. I hope you are seeing this on the screen. Sum number A. We are going to solve the sum number A first. So we are writing 2 multiplication facts. So here we are making the first group, second group and third group. You can see I am just putting the circle to better understood. So there are 3 groups. You can see this, here is 1, 2 and 3. So I am writing 3 here. That's why I am writing 3, because this is 3 groups. 1, 2 and 3. So I am writing 3 and each group has 2 crayons. 1 2, 1 2 and 1 2. That's why I am writing 2. Each group, there are 3 groups and each group has 2 crayons. So total there are 6 crayons. This is the first sentence of the multiplication fact. Now let's make the second group. You can see this, I am just making another way to grouping this. There are 2 groups and each group has 3 crayons. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So we can write down this way, that total this is 2 groups, 1 and 2. You can see this, there are 2 groups, 1 and 2. So I am writing 2 here and there are 3 crayons in each group. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So that's why I am writing 3 here. So 2 3s are 6. You can see this, here we are taking 3 2s and here we are taking 2 3s, but we are getting the same product. Now let's see the sum number B. Here is the sum number B. So let's make the group first. First group, second group, third group and fourth group. So total there are 4 groups and each group has 3 crayons. Let's see this, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So we can write down this way the multiplication fact. Total there are 4 groups and each group has 3 crayons. So we can write down this way, 4 3s are 12. So I hope that you are understanding this. Now let's make the another group. First group, second group and third group. So total here we are making 3 groups and each group has 4 crayons. So you can see this, there are 4 crayons, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So there are 3 groups and each group has 4 crayons. So 3 4s are 12. Now you can see this, here is the 4 3s are 12 and here is 3 4s are 12. We are getting the same answer. We are just swapping the number. We are just changing the groups arrangement, but still we are getting the same answer. Let's see the sum number C here. First of all, let's make the group first. Group 1, group 2. So total there are 2 groups. And how many crayons in each group? Let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Each group has 5 crayons. So we can write down the multiplication fact this way. 2 groups and each group has 5 crayons. So 2 5s is equal to 10. 2 5s are 10. Now let's make the another group. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4 and group 5. You can see this, there are 5 groups of 2 crayons. Total there are 5 groups and each group has 2 crayons. You can see this, let's count, 1 2, here is 1 2, 1 2, 1 2 and 1 2. Total 5 groups and each group has 2 crayons. You can see this. So 5 2s is equal to 10. So you can see this, here also we are getting the same answer. Here is 2 5s and here is 5 2s. There is nothing different in this, just 2 ways arrangement, as we seen some examples of this topic in the previous lecture. Now here let's make the group first. You can see the sum number D is this, and first of all let's make the group. Here is first group, second group, third group, fourth group, fifth group and here is sixth group. Total there are 6 groups. And how many crayons in each group? 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3. There are 6 groups and each group has 3 crayons. So 6 3s is equal to 18. Now let's make the another group. Group 1, group 2 and group 3. Total there are 3 groups. And how many crayons in each group? Let's count. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Total there are 3 groups and each group has 6 crayons. So you can see this, we are getting the same answer. 3 6s are 18. So this way we have to solve the multiplication fact, and if you have textbook then fill into the textbook. And thank you so much for watching this video. Write down exercise 8A in the question number 1 and question number 2. We are completing this exercise. Just learn and write all the things, and students wait for my next lecture. Learn and write the tables also. Do your homework and make the fair book properly, And students, we will meet in the next lecture with the question number 3, exercise 8a. Question number 3 we will learn in the next lecture. So bye bye students.